That's fine. We all feel like that, but it really does the world good. Even if you're crying at the idea of thinking about it, that's like a really good because that lets out the boohoo's. Okay, that's fine. That's a really good like step. That's a really good step. So just yeah, it's all about just finding that time to do it. Okay, and just actually doing it. And if you find yourself like, congratulations, because sometimes it's really hard for people to even spend time alone with themselves. And that's so scary for some people. Like they can't do it, they can't face who they are and what they've done. What they've done. No, I mean who they are because they're just so out of warp, I would say, like out of not shape, but they are so out of sync, that's the one, with who they are. Hey guys, so good to be back. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining. Oh my god, you mean the world to me. Gosh, it's been a minute because I completely forgot it was the Easter holidays last week, so that was that. So there wasn't an episode, so sorry if you guys were expecting one, but today there is one, thank God. So we're in this episode, we're going to talk, when you neglect your self-love and then you end up in that whole like spiral of doubt, negative thoughts, who are you? Like, we just get so caught up in not being good enough because it's a neglect. It is a neglect. Like, we've all got, I was gonna say we've all got a flower, but that sounds really disturbing, especially if anyone's watched Friends where they call their virginity a flower. Well, no. So, we've all got to take care of ourselves. Like, you know, you would a plant, like imagine like it is something that we need and we do absolutely neglect it throughout our lives. We get caught up in like we have to do this, we have to go to work, we have to do this, we have to take care of other people. And it's the whole oxygen mask thing. You gotta put that if you're in a plane crash, sort of, if that's going down, it's like you have to put on the oxygen mask first before you put it on someone else because you know you'll essentially be knocked out. So in this case, it's like you have to practice self-love. I'm so mature every time I say that. I just laugh. I'm like self-love. No, you have to practice self-love in order to love someone else, in order to have that outlook on life. And I just feel really sorry for people that do that because people treat you how they feel about yourselves. Like I had someone treat me like absolute dirt yesterday, and I just smirked, and I didn't think he liked it, but I just looked at him and I was like, oh, he probably doesn't get laid. That was my initial thought, but um, yeah, when someone treats you like absolute shit, it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with them, and it's just you know, I would observe them. I would look at the way they do that, because you could just be yourself to anyone. It's like it's weird. It's like hard to explain, but everyone, they all see the world differently. And sometimes is it perspectives? The way you see the world and the way they see the world connect, it's like it can be hell on earth because it's just weird. It's just weird. But it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with them, right? They've got the problem. They feel like, the way that they feel, and sometimes that we just can't take personally. We just have to understand, give them a minute and say, right, the way you're feeling is actually nothing to do with me. The way you're treating me, it's nothing to do with me. I'm doing nothing. I'm just being myself. It's just that we've happened to connect in this moment right now, and you've decided to treat me like shit. That can happen. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. If you're on like, I don't know, the tube or like subway, if you're in America, or it happens when you interact with people, but it's nothing to do with you. Okay? It could have been anyone that you'd have run into that day. It's nothing to do with you. You're absolutely beautiful, who you are. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay, right. And this is something we have to understand. And this is like, this is external influences, but it can be part of it because then it can go inside. And in this episode, we're going to talk about like internal things, but I know we're talking about external things, but yeah, we're going to get there. We're there. Where was I? Um, it can have an effect because it's how you're learning. I mean, the way you see the world, the way you hear it, you taste it, you taste the pavement. No, the way you understand the world around us can have an influence on how we feel about ourselves inside. And, because, yeah, like I said, that's us learning. But we can, choose what it is that we want to learn about. Okay, we can choose, you know, how things are going to affect us if they do. It's up to you to do that. Okay, guys? So, we're going to talk about the internal, like the voice, that voice in our heads, and we all have it. It's not that we're crazy. We all have this voice, guys. Mine's been a bitch lately. It's fine, it's been dark. Um, but oh damn, what are we gonna do, guys, with this voice? No, I'm kidding. So I didn't know whether I should, go for like a meditation practice with you guys in this episode, which is a bit lame and is a bit out of my reach. And I'm always a bit like, oh, hippy dippy stuff. No, thank you. A little bit, but that's me lying to myself because I totally do it. And if I didn't do it, I would just, I would go postal. I would just kill everyone and, go absolutely crazy. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Um, but mostly it's myself, so neglecting myself. And if I was to do a meditation right now, guys, it would be totally improvised and I would freak out and I wouldn't know how to do it, but I feel like I need to do it. It's so lame. Um, so maybe it's just all about like taking like that moment to, like if you were to just, do the eyes shut thing. Okay, guys, are you with me? If you were to just take that and just, even 3 breaths for yourself, like deep ones, guys. Like I want you to feel your lungs like, expanding to the point where it's like you can explode. You can't do any more air. And just take that minute for yourself. And we can all do this. It's like I once heard someone, I was in a bookshop and one of the staff members were like, meditation, ain't got no time for that. And it's like, yes, you have, because that's all you need sometimes is just 30 seconds, or it could be however long you need it for. Sometimes we need to understand ourselves a little bit more and how we're feeling, and this is like a great way to do that is through meditation. And I know people like, yeah, and good time for that. Well, actually, it is giving yourself time to understand it. And I know people can't, meditate by themselves, and it is a practice. It really is a practice to do this for yourself. Like, you can't just do it. You can't just shut your eyes, breathe and shit, and be conscious, be aware of it. You need to, people like don't understand the thoughts that they get when they see it. It's like we all get thoughts. We will constantly get thoughts all the time until we're pushing up daisies. It's like we will constantly think. That's our brain, and that's great. And that's okay that our brain's doing that. But what we have to do is allow ourselves not to, you know, what is it? Let them, hit you in the face with like a feeling, like an awareness of this thought. You just have to look at it, let it brush you by, just be like, okay, that's a thought. And so when someone said that to me, and when I actually did it, I was like, ah, I get it. I get it. So if you just take a minute, if you're on the toilet, just take a minute and close your eyes and do those breaths, those breathings. And just for yourself, just like take a minute and just zone. again, looking. Try not to burst out in tears. I know some of you feeling that. But just like, it depends on like the different levels that we're at. But if something like is really hitting you in the face, like for me, it's like a version of myself that's crying, like absolutely crying and like babbling and just waving my arms around and saying like just just like a desperate woman. That's what that is the thought I'm getting, and that's like a weird version of me. And that's like me trying to, because that's how I'm feeling deep down inside. It sounds so strange, but I'm just getting on your guys' level. Like we all feel at some point that, you know, we all feel stressed. We all have these emotions. And sometimes, like myself, I suffer from interpersonal intelligence, and that means that I don't understand how I feel, and I struggle with that. So for me, I have this version of me screaming and crying, like I don't know what to do, and I'm babbling, and it's so strange, and I'm laughing right now. I'm not a psychopath, Jesus, but um, but if you get a thought, like it's just popped into your head, and I know, like it's just like it's hard to understand, and I've done a lot of work understanding all about like your consciousness, your emotions, and well, and how you're feeling, which is basically your emotions. um and there's a lot about us, okay, and we have to understand that it's not a bad thing to be who you are, and sometimes we just don't appreciate ourselves. Like there's a lot about being a human being. It is a lot to do, okay, guys? It's a lot of pressure, and we do handle it, and we handle it really well every day. Like, even just breathing, like, this is something that we're so unconscious about, but we're doing it, and we're doing it really well. And, you know, like our bodies being our bodies, like our immune systems, like, just it's so strange, but not taking ourselves for granted and the things that we do. Like this morning, I realized that I wasn't giving myself enough value. I felt like I felt so anxious this morning, you guys. I just didn't feel, good enough. And I was like, no way, I have to reward myself. And you guys have to do this too. It's like, are you thinking about something right now that you should, you should praise yourself on? You are so worthy and you've come so far. This thing that it's not a bad thing. You gotta remember that we're all human, that we can't do everything every day, okay? That we can't take on the world, and I know it's really hard and we do get caught up, but you're just human, you have to remember it. And whatever you're feeling right now, like this too shall pass. Honestly, this too shall pass, okay, you guys? I don't know who said that, but I wanna high five them because that does help me through a lot. And yeah. But the way you're feeling, like just take that moment, and if thoughts do come into your head, don't let them harm you. Like I know it sucks. It sucks, but you have to understand the way you're feeling, and that's like the first step to, it's not solve the problem, but just understand. Say, okay, I'm feeling like this. Why am I feeling like this? How can I stop feeling like this? What can I do? What's the next step? How can I change this feeling? Okay? Nobody's ever going to be perfect. Nobody. Okay? And I struggle with that because I struggle with, I try to find perfection. Well, not really. I try to be the best at everything that I can be. And, but in my limits. I know my limits. I know what I can do. And sometimes people don't understand that and they go beyond what they can actually do, which is, you know, it's good to think like that because you believe that you can do something, but it's just when the actual reality comes in and it's like, actually, this is something I can't do and it's stressed me out and it's upset me. That's fine, because actually maybe that's not right for you, and that's a good thing because there's something else out there that is so much better for you guys, okay? There's something out there that's gonna help you be yourself, and it's gonna be so much better for you, alright? So it just depends where you are right now. It's okay to say, it's okay that I'm feeling like this. This is temporary. Everything's temporary. This too shall pass. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about anything, okay, guys? So, it was so funny. So, we can all sometimes 100% feel like we're not good enough. Like I said, getting caught up in, you know, life and not taking that time, even, you know, it's just 2 seconds to yourself to tell yourself that you're good enough. Sometimes you do need more than that. It just depends how long we've been exposed to, you know, the busyness of the world. Not taking that time is so important. And I know, like I said, like if we believe that we don't have time for this, it's like it is far more important to rest than it is to, it's just as important to rest than it is to like work hard. Okay, guys. So, sorry. Take this moment to rest. Okay? Take this moment to say it's okay. I'm okay where I'm at. These feelings that I'm feeling are temporary. You know, they're not gonna harm me. I'm like, tell yourself that you're worthy of everything that you deserve to be worthy of. Because everything is already yours. Everything that you want, everything is already yours, okay? Tell yourself that. Tell yourself life is beautiful. Tell yourself, I can do this. I am good enough. I'm more than good enough. I am absolutely worthy of everything that I want to do. I got this. I don't know. Just tell yourself positive things that, you know, are in line with what you want to do in life. Okay? Take that time. Tell yourself. You can tell yourself whatever you want. Like, you can tell yourself that you're not good enough. You can tell yourself that. You can tell yourself, you can listen to the thoughts that are harming you, that you don't even realize that are harming you. It happened to me yesterday when I was believing a story that I was making up in my head. You actually don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on in other people's heads. You don't know what's going on. This is just how you're choosing to see the world. This is just what you're choosing to believe in. These thoughts, these negative thoughts, you don't know unless somebody tells you to your face what they think, what's going on. That's just their outlook, that's their perspective on the world as well. It's nothing to do with you and who you are. You've got so much to live for, there's so much potential that you have, even if you don't know what it is yet. Even if you're struggling finding like your life purpose and everything like that, your purpose in life changes. And I know that I've had times when I'm like, what does it all mean? What am I supposed to be doing in life? Don't worry, because you will find it, okay? Maybe not right now, but later, okay? And it's all part of like finding a purpose. If you want to, and that's part of self-love, and that's part of finding like a connection to who you are, okay? And it's okay. Like, it's okay. It's the world is your playground essentially, and you can run and skip bare feet. You can just go and laugh and have fun. Yeah, we get so caught up in this awful, awful, this awful world, you guys. It's a horrible place. No, It's whatever you choose it to be, it's whatever you create it. Okay. And if you find this out and you talk to people and you're like, wow, you really see the world like that? That's not how I see the world. You know, it wakes you up. Like, it wakes you up. And sometimes it can actually make you realize how lucky you are. Um, but everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's got something that they're learning about themselves and what they're doing in life. Like, you cannot judge other people for their journey. It's, it's always unique to them. Okay, they're learning what they have to learn, and you're learning what you have to learn. Okay, it's don't be too hard on yourself. Really don't. Really don't. Just value and appreciate yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but what is it that you did today? What was it that you did that was so great? What is it that you loved about what happened today? And if you can't find anything, it's okay. You've still got the rest of the day. Even if it's small, like say, like, I don't know, I laughed at my toes. I found them funny. Yes, because we're all toddlers and we laugh at our toes. Probably did once. Isn't that funny that we probably all laughed at our toes, like their feet? Toddlers do that. They find their feet hilarious. There's like a phase where they go through. And it's like, what happened to us? Where did that innocence go? Who stole that from us? Why did we allow that to be taken? Okay. And why are we now, getting brown noses by kissing our boss's ass? And why are we now giving our value away to other people? Why are we doing this now? You don't have to do that, and you can choose to do that if you want to. Absolutely up to you. Don't. Because you're so unique to yourself. The only person that actually matters in this world is you and what you think about yourself. Nobody matters. Like I said, the whole perspective thing, everyone's got their own outlook and everyone will look at you differently. Everyone. Like, you've got a best friend, great. Well, you've also probably got your worst enemy out there. That's the opposite of your best friend. Not really your worst enemy, but someone that just doesn't get you, someone that doesn't understand you and doesn't like you. But that's not your problem. That's theirs. Okay? They don't get you. It's like, fine. For you, I don't need you. I've got people that value me and respect you. I'm not gonna, laugh at your feet. God damn it. No. Okay, but you don't have to. You can choose to do that. You can choose the people in your life. You don't have to. You don't have to put up with anyone. You don't have to put up with shit if you don't want to. But you don't have to surround yourself with people or these thoughts. Like, same with people, you don't have to surround yourself with thoughts. You don't have to listen to anything that's harming you. Okay? You don't have to do that. Guys, no. Just take your time with things. Really take your Really take your times. Really take your time with, if there's something that's hurting you, just shut your eyes and just breathe. Breathe into that. And I know it's really scary. Some people are like, no, that's fucking not my jam. That ain't my cup of tea at all. Just shut up and do it now. I'm kidding. That's fine. That's fine. We all feel like that, but it really does the world good. Even if you're crying at the idea of thinking about it, that's like really good because that lets out the boohoo's. Okay, that's fine. That's a really good step. That's a really good step. So just it's all about just finding that time to do it. Okay, and just actually doing it. And if you find yourself, like, congratulations, because sometimes it's really hard for people to even spend time alone with themselves. And that's so scary for some people. Like, they can't do it, they can't face who they are and what they've done. What they've done. No, I mean who they are, because they're just so out of warp, I would say, like out of not shape, but they are so out of sync. That's the one, with who they are, because they've just been so caught up. and they've always had people telling them what to do, and they've never remained like true to their like innocence, who they are, what they're capable of. They've listened to people, they've had people stop them from doing what they want to do, what they're good at, their talents, because of perhaps expectation. That can happen. Um, Someone else's expectation of you is a really dark thing to have because I actually had an ex once who was overwhelmed with his parents' expectation for them, and he ended up working. They gave him so much. He had like a pilot's license. They gave him so much. He could do anything, like he could sail and everything. So much potential, too much potential. They pressured him a little bit too much, and he unfortunately works in a garage. Not saying that's bad, but from the level that they've pushed him, he collapsed in on himself. Like his emotions, he was overwhelmed and collapsed in on himself. And doing too much is a bad thing. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing, isn't it? The saying. And he just collapsed in, and he just chose to push aside his potential. And it's just like, did he feel good enough about himself? It's okay, like the parents, like it's okay if they push you, but it's just all about how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. They should have probably given a lot more emotional support rather than encouraging him to live up to their expectations. And from that, he did collapse in on himself, and he should have had like, you know, just like a belief in himself, like a story. And he told himself a story that wasn't in line with the potential that his parents were giving him. And unfortunately, he's sunk a little bit. He's sunk. And that's okay as well if you do find yourself in that position, like, there's too much, I've overachieved, and now I just feel like I'm worthless. You're not worthless. Just maybe those things weren't right for you. And it's okay to take that time and forgive ourselves for how we feel, to, let go of that. That's a really good thing to let go. And again, it's easy said than done, but you'll find what you're meant to be doing. Okay, you'll find like it, just achieving things isn't just everything. Like you have to do it emotionally too. You have to, be comfortable with who you are and what you can do, and not living someone else's life, not doing what someone else wants you to do for them, because the only thing that matters is what you want to do for yourself. Okay? It's what you want. And sometimes people just won't understand. They won't get it. They'll call you crazy. They'll tell you all these names, like they'll tell you that you can't do it. Like, who are they to tell you what you can and can't do? You can do anything that you want to do. The choice is yours, okay? You know, who are these people? And you see it all the time. Kids not living up to their expectations, but the parents should really nurture that side of like, okay, what do you want to do? There's something actually that you want to do, that's something you're good at, there's something that's your calling. What do you want to do? Not the whole like, you have to do this. It's either this way or the my way or the highway. No, you should nurture the child. Oh my God. Let them do what they want to do. It's a really good thing to do, because it, allows the child to learn who they are and learn, you know, let them understand what they want to do, who they are, what they like, what they dislike. But we're so forced to do something, it's not a good place. So if you're in that situation, forgive, just forgive, your parents, forgive yourself. To say, okay, this wasn't right for me actually, but that's okay because I'm young, I've got time, I can do this. I'm gonna find something else, find something that's right for me, find something like the instinct. What is calling you? What is that thing that you want to do? And do it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with finding out what makes you happy. You can't live the rest of your life doing what you think others, would think make you happy. Wait, what? No. Stop. Say that again. You can't spend the rest of your life pleasing others. You can't. Because it's your life. You can't change yourself for others. Because it's who you are, it's not who they are. Okay. So put your middle fingers up, say fuck you, and just get out of there. No. Just be really kind to yourself. Find out what it, just take the time. What do you truly want to do? What are you saying to yourself? Be honest with yourself and say, okay, that doesn't make sense. That's not who I am. I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to change this negative thought to a positive. I'm going to take the actions that I need to take in order to, be kinder to myself, because the way I'm feeling right now isn't actually who I am. It's just a thought that I'm identifying myself with. Okay? Tell yourself that and just change them to positives. I can do this. I've got this. I'm the best at what I do. I'm beautiful. Yeah. I don't, it's not that you don't deserve, it's like, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve, the way you've been treated in the past. You don't deserve to now be conditioned with a thought pattern that makes you feel like you're inadequate, like you have no value, like you're not beautiful. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve that, okay? And tell yourself that. Remind yourself of that every day, okay, guys? So this is it for this episode. Really hope this helped in some way. Like I said again, if you guys want one-to-one coaching, I am on Empathy. If you guys want that, you just have to sign up, make an account. I don't know why they've done this, but sorry. They are like a legit teaching place, and they, so many classes. They're just starting up, so yeah, I am on there if you guys need me for more one-to-one stuff. But other than that, yeah, follow me on every single platform. No, follow me on all the platforms that you can. And follow me on Instagram, guys, okay? Thank you so much for listening. Bye.